Alright, now, for everyone's favorite pastime, fucking around in the depths of space. So, let's find out just how much you're gonna be fucking around. Also, yes, yeah. Me and Kaylee are definitely not the most cleanliest of people, but we're also not the dirtiest, considering this is about as bad as it gets. So, usually this is about as bad as it gets, so there's no issues there. But now, as I got the fighting instances out of the way, now I can focus on the thing many of y'all are actually here for. Goalpost. Well, mainly my editor's here for it, so I want to see that motherfucker start typing in chat right now. I want to see it. By the way, I got a question. Yes, what is it? What is it, my child? You have dementia. You might as well rename yourself to Dementia Gaming. Dementia Gaming. How the fuck you forget a question just 5 seconds in? 5 seconds in of trying to ask the question and you already forgot it. How? How the fuck did you forget it? No, I do not have COVID still. I've been clean for a couple of weeks. I still have a dry cough. Don't know if that's actually COVID or if that's just fucking normal shit, like allergies and whatnot. So I was like, I don't know. But it makes sense if it was because I've had that problem. So who knows? But as I've said, things are about. This video is about Goalpost. As the last one, my editor wants to talk about Goalpost a bit because he does have something there. I'm allergic to shrimp. Oh, I was gonna grab the shrimp that we have in our fridge, and I was like, you're allergic, are you? You're allergic. But I make your ass fall down. But I make your ass get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Gonna make your ass. Mm-hmm. The editor does. Yeah. Contoria. Yeah, Contoria is mainly. I kind of want them to be like the Great Britain, where they're usually they're the naval powerhouse. Like they've got a really good navy, but they also have a decent army and a decent their naval defense unit. So it's kind of like they got a decent military overall, but their navy is where they completely shine. Even though the United Planets does have state-of-the-art ships as well, the UKK is going to have some really, really, really good state-of-the-art ships too. Then with fucking Starburst. Yeah, I'm eating Starburst. Look how fucking big my fingers are. My finger nearly completely encircles the goddamn piece. Look at this shit. Look at this. Look at this shit. Got big ass. I don't just got long fingers. I got big long fingers. God damn. But yeah, the UKK is supposed to be a major powerhouse. They're supposed to be very important because guess who's got to take control and take care of two major powers that managed to escape? They do. The UKK got to take care of them. And I got to do it snappy. Yeah, the UKK, the reason why it's surviving is because in order to survive, yeah, Kovalev is still a villain, so is Zaina. Zaina or Zaina. There's a lot of ways to say it, but I like Zaina best because it just sounds right. But as I said before, it's like those two are the main issues, and now the UKK has to fight them, and it's kind of like, what do they do now? Those two want to take over human-controlled space. They want to own human-controlled space. So how are they going to do it? Well, they're going to have to attack the UKK. They're going to have to attack all the allies of the UKK, which would inevitably include the one major power that they should not awaken. So this is where it's kind of like you can already see what pieces are laying in front of them, and they got to pick the right ones. They got to pick the right pieces. Well, Vanai, I'm pretty sure they left towards Oitop, which is kind of like this ice world, and it's in the same system. They left to Oitop, and they're now the controlling government of Oitop. But it also has an extremely low temperature. Before it was like negative 400 to the point where you'd freeze your balls off, literally. And now you have it to where it's somewhat livable if you have a heat source. If you have a heat source, you'll be fine. But even before then, it's like your heat source. Fuck your heat source. They already had cut ties with Kovaleva for decades prior to the leaving of the homeworld. They had it prior, so they didn't like him before. They sure as hell don't like him now. Especially the fact that Kovaleva was trying to initially cut supplies off for their forces. So it's like they're looking at Kovaleva with some "I'm gonna beat your ass" eyes. So you could probably tell that there is a war that is coming, and whether they like it or not, it is going to happen really, really soon. They probably can. Oitop does have a decent population. Adding you and Oitop, you could definitely solo, but they could definitely solo, but the problem is they also have super weapons, similar to how Zelvia's trying to develop a massive weapon, and then you've got the UKK trying to develop a massive weapon. These guys are already developing big weapons as well. They are not falling behind on this issue. And what they're trying to build is something terrifying. Hopefully it works, but well, it should hopefully not work, but as I always say, the actions of the people at play will be. Space Force is pretty much vital, and that means there are new branches of the military: Space Marines, Space Rangers, and you've got some special operations groups that are only space bound. So there are now new space conflicts that can now exist. Meaning, is you could fight in the dead center of space. That's now a thing. That's good. I mean, Space Rangers are also a thing too. So those are also for the Navy. Yeah, even though their Navy wouldn't be as big, their Navy would still be very powerful. And if someone tries to undermine it, they could probably just say, man, fuck you. We're going to just destroy everything you've got. What you going to do now? But overall, the doctrine for the UKK is to protect what they have and protect their few allies that they have. But obviously, fighting the Kovalavans and the Xanans at the same time is not beneficial. They do not want that. They don't want that. And that's why they're trying to look for. That's why you said they're trying to look for new allies. It's because they can't fight them by themselves. Even their navy is not enough to stop them. Because then you got to shell the world into submission, and that's probably not enough. That's you still got people that now want to fight you. So now it's like you got to invade the planet, but you don't have the resources or the manpower. All factions are separated between planets now because it's easier to control a planet than to control a small region of country. And that sounds counterintuitive, but really think it through. If you have a border with another country, they're a threat. If you don't have a border with a country, there's no threat. So all you have to really do is be able to keep everything out of your planet that you don't want, and bam, you're safe. With a country, you can't do that. Because there's a lot of ways you can come into that country. On another planet, there's only one way you can go. There's one. That's why it's easier to control a planet than to control a country. Because with a planet, you have all the infrastructure of the entire world at one helm of your hand. So it's not easy to control a country, but it will be much easier to control a planet when you have everything under your disposal. Now, I will also warn that if the Kovalavans and the Xenians do fight, as I always say, they will likely drag the United Planets into the war, and it'll depend on a wide variety of factors that will inevitably drag them into it. Like the first thing that I've always said was, what's their goal by this war? And what are they planning on doing when this war is inevitably won, or if they lose it? Because there is a way that they can lose it, and if you have two major superpowers against you, you're basically going to lose it. But keeping the United Planets out is hard, especially when you've got two countries that want to fight you to the death. So it's a matter of how do we make sure that the United Planets doesn't want to fight us, and that doesn't also do not want to send resources to other planets. That begs another question. They would likely get absolutely pulverized. Let's be honest. Let us be completely honest. If Jaimong, a nation, not a world, a nation, comes into their universe, they're going to realize we are outdone in almost every way, and they're going to get their asses cremated the moment they step through. And the reason is simple. Technology, sure, they got a lot of manpower, but what is that going to do if the enemy can just spray and completely destroy everything you have in like one go? There's no reason. And now there's a potential that there's going to be particle accelerator beams. Yeah, Zahara would not stand a chance. Even if it was just against the United Planets Navy, there'd be no way they stood a chance. The weapons that these guys have are different from the old two United Planets that I had. Even the second one was like, hey, we've got plasma weaponry, we've got all that. This one's way different. This one's got particle accelerator cannons. This thing's got high focus particle accelerator beams, particle shielding. I mean, you can't beat that type of situation. And the only way to get through a particle shield is to figure out what the particle is and try to make an antiparticle. Yeah, so antiparticle weapons will have to be made unless they're going to try to eat through enemy shields. And that's going to be a hell of a time. So, yeah. And it's just one alien race changes the entire game. If you noticed, one alien race changed the whole situation. If they hadn't met that alien race, they likely would have never ventured out of their solar system. And it's... Oh, God. So who would get their ass kicked first? Okay, the first thing is who speaks bad about who will depend on who gets their ass kicked. Okay, but Cody is definitely going to last the longest. Even if he does get his ass kicked, it's like, he's going to last the longest. Dude is a UFC fighter, and he's got enough power in his punches to kill someone. It's not like he's going to just sit by and watch as people come up to him. Like, no, he's going to kick some ass first. Jay's probably going to get killed first because everyone hates him. Fuck Jay. Then you've got Owen. Owen would probably be kept alive. Like, they'd beat him, but I don't think they'd kill him. And that's probably because too much respect. I mean, Owen's a fucking billionaire. Was he a billionaire or a multi-millionaire? Because Owen was well respected by his people, so he would probably not die. Yeah, even Volker wouldn't last. Against power like Cody, power like Jay, there's no way he would. There's no way he would. Those two have the ultimate strength in that fight. Not only that, Cody has taken ranger training. He is a ranger. So he knows how to topple governments. He knows how to fight against special forces. He is an anti-special forces guy. He is the king of kings. There is no way anyone normal, unless someone specifically trained to kill him, is made. And this is where Jay comes into play, because Jay has a lot of history behind him. His family was affected by a choice that the Judkins bloodline had inevitably made. Oh yeah, no, Ryan would get his ass kicked first. Everyone can agree that if all five of them were in the room and they were going to fight each other, Ryan would almost certainly get his ass kicked first. But that doesn't mean he will actually get killed first. The person that would likely get killed first is Jay. There's no doubt in my mind it would be Jay. No doubt. Owen would likely be safe. Cody would likely be safe, but everyone hates Jay. I don't know why, but it's like everyone fucking hates him. Other than like a handful of countries, everybody hates that guy. And you'll see very soon why they hate him. Because the book series is going to start coming back online. And then it's like, oh, wow. Now you get to really see if this is actually going to be a thing. But I'm trying to make Jay into a very, very big villain. Because this guy, and for all the OGs out there, that's the first ever villain. I can't remember his name, but I remember what he did. And his villain arc and his redemption arc created in my opinion, one of my best villains that I've ever made. And I don't even think I could make anybody close to that. I don't know. I mean, if they're Pacifico, right? If they're Pacifico, then I don't know. I mean, that's your universe. That's not the multiverse. It's not the multiverse of Goalpost. That's Pacifico's specific universe. But I also do know that not everything works out that same way. But they died. Wow. You really just see it. Gee, I wonder what happened to them. They died. They died in a car accident on August 19th, 1975 at approximately 1340 hours. Like, what the I know where the bodies are buried. One is located in the dead center of Rome, Italy, and the other one is located in Paris. We found who's in Paris, boy. We found who's in Paris. Who's in Paris? Damn. Damn, they really got Caesar. They really got Caesared, huh? Damn. Smushed in between damn buildings. Modern Warfare 3 challenge, bro. Modern Warfare 3. Damn, Volko was the only survivor. That's the weird part, is like, Jay, he does have a history, and Jay is not as young as he portrays himself to be. He still think he's young, but in reality, Jay is between 38 and 39, and between that, Jay is old in comparison to Cody. Cody's only less than half his age, so it's kind of like, how does this guy, how does that happen? But Jay is definitely a villain I would advise reading into, because this could be the same type of villain that I initially entered the series in. The first ever book I wrote, I had a villain that had an actual reason to be a villain, that had specific ties to other villains, but at the end of the day, he was proven to be right. Even though he did the right thing, he was inevitably proven to be right. Basically, Volker's old as fuck. How is this dude? Get this dude to a nursing home. God damn it. Get him to a nursing home. Get him to a goddamn nursing home. Who let Grandpa man the fucking 50 cal? God damn it. Who let Grandpa man the 50 cal? Who let Grandpa man the damn 50? Oh. Oh, was that the captain? Captain, why the fuck did you let him man the 50? Nearly shot two of our guys. And the dog. And then told us what the dog was doing. You could probably tell that this is an enjoyment. Who let Grandpa order an invasion to China? Probably Joe Biden. Oh, no. No, that is Joe Biden. Who let Joe Biden man the invasion to China? He'd be like 200 at this time frame. He'd be like 200 years old. But yeah, the UKK is supposed to be a more powerful entity than the Syrians or the Barcelonians. But it's kind of like the major of those people. I wonder. Oh yeah. Also, due to the increased amount of, where is it? I'm trying to look at something real quick. Ah, there it is. I'm looking at Discord, and it's kind of like Jaemong keeps asking about, oh, what are we gonna do? Gate when, and then fucking scolding. It's not gonna help your situation if you keep asking about gate. Come on. If you keep asking about it, I'm just not. I mean, how old would Zuma be if he returns at that moment? Like, how old would he be? Because it would depend on a lot of other factors. 91. Shit, he's old too. Seriously, who are letting these grandpas lead the fucking armies? Seriously, who's letting Grandpa Joe lead a fucking army? Okay, who's letting that motherfucker do that? I want to know his superior at one point that wanted this. Who did this? God damn, man. Uh, Pacifico definitely would be a different universe. Yeah, even then, Zelbia and Jemong eventually, Zelbia developed different types of travel, which allowed them to create space travel and all these other things. And then you got Jaimong that's developing better weapons, better tactics to use the said weapons. And now Pacifico, yet again, is falling behind. But I don't know if it's because of just outright the United Planets coming back. Yeah, I don't know. Pacifico might have to rebuild their characters. They might have to. You might have to bring in a whole new young characters. You might have to because now they've got the United Planets, which is now an entity that exists, and now you've got Jaimon, which is conquering other nations in the fucking Middle East again. So now, seriously, who the fuck just doesn't conquer the Middle East nowadays? You got the U.S. and you got Europe. You have Russian forces in there. You got African forces in there, and now you've got Saudi Arabia, and they're like, what the fuck? Why is everyone trying to conquer the Middle East? Like, what the fuck are you gonna do with all that land? There's nothing there but like oil and a handful of crops. Seriously, what the fuck are you gonna do with that? That's like the one thing I don't understand. And then you've got fucking Pacifico doing their dumb shit. I don't know what they're doing. But at the end of the day, you get Zelbio don't even doesn't even exist anymore. Zelbia doesn't even fucking exist anymore. You forget? They do not exist anymore. They don't fucking exist anymore. But yeah, the problem is with Pacifico is that it gives Zuma a perfect chance. It is Zuma. It is Zuma. It gives Zuma the perfect chance to come back, cause more havoc, and it forces an even bigger response from them, which then could turn into an actual conflict, and then vice versa, and it just creates even more havoc than it already has. I don't know how else they're gonna. Zuma Allison. Wait, is that a woman? Hell no. We can't have women. No, no, no women. I told you, no women. Nah. Okay. I was about to say, that's kind of a sussy name for a male. We can't have women. No women. Chino counts as a woman. She needs to go. So it's like, um, yes, yes, it does. It does sound like that Zuma is a girl. I was like, wait a second, wait a second. What the fuck? L. I just put whoever that was in timeout. L. L plus a ratio. Get ratioed. They come back. I'm just gonna do that every single handful of minutes that they come back. So if they do that, I'm gonna continue doing that just to be a dick. I'm not even gonna ban them. I'm just gonna keep doing that. L. Oh no, I can I can increase the time every single time I add those files. I didn't know I could do that. It probably is a bot, but at the end of the day, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, right. Then you've got fucking. Then you've got this new, not the new. Actually, this is an old villain coming back, but now with the universe that is with Zelbia, now you've got, well, not Zelbia, but you've got brand new villains coming in, and now you've got enemies that are trying to shake up the foundation of the entirety of what they've built. Now you've got enemies coming in that are trying to shake the foundation of what they've made. You know what I mean? Now they've got enemies shaking the foundation again. Yeah, Volker is getting to a point where he is getting old. He's way too old to be serving. That's just like the one thing I always noticed is that he's too old to be serving. He should not be serving at 96. Yeah, he's 96. He should not be serving at all. Life expectancy in a destroyed world, like this dude would die at any second. Imagine he just dies from a fucking heart attack. Imagine he's seen all that shit and he dies from a fucking heart attack. He has physically seen nuclear war. He has seen all of his buddies die in combat. And the thing he dies from is like a medical. Bruh. Imagine he does die. Imagine he does die by rectal cancer. Imagine he does. Like, oh, by the way, you've got rectum cancer. Like, shit. Yeah, I don't know if he's going to live to that. Also, I've been trying to plan this for a while and I never actually got to it. But now that Goalpost is back and it's back again, I've decided that. Remember when I told you about the surprise? That the surprise RP zone? Well, I probably should tell you now, but I'm not going to tell you just yet, but it will be coming in after this stream. So the only thing that I'm going to say about it is that it's a mixture. It's going to be a nice mixture. Oh, yeah, it's going to be a nice mixture. So that means you can bring all of your characters you want in, And yes, I mean any, because this is a different type of RP. This is different. So this is going to be more centralized on individuality, but also there will be scenes where they get to fight, where they get to do espionage, where they get to sabotage, do all these special forces things, and still have like cool little things that they can do on the side. So yes, this is going to be a nice one. And I will say, you can bring 3 of your favorite characters, and if you want to bring Volker in, bring Volker, because old man definitely is gonna be a use to something there, right? You probably will know what it is once it happens. I don't even know if you'll need factions. Like, all you need is like a handful of people. You don't even need factions. Yep. Now, for this specific RP, I will be making an exception to the 3-person rule. I don't know. I think the older Volker would be a more of a use in this timeline. For this one specifically, older Volker will be much more useful. Younger Volker, like, yeah, he's young, he can move and all that. But older Volker, I think he's important. If he's used, he will be a very big use in this one. So this is gonna be different. And you could probably already tell. Old Volker is gonna be more important and more useful than young Volker. Why? Because you already have the muscle of the group. You already have the muscle of the group. So it's like, why even? No, not even. Flanders is not even the muscle. He's nowhere near. Who's the only person of that group that's in the UFC? Take a wild guess. Take a wild guess. Out of all those people, which one? There you go. Because I haven't actually said anything about it yet. But, man, can I really? I just can't type, can I? Because unlike all those others, man is built like a stone wall. Stone in every sense of the way. Man is stone. Will not test me. Oh my god, dude. Yes, that is the muscle of the group right there. Obviously, he definitely has the sheer mass to be the muscle of the group. He definitely does. And as with the old gate one, I don't know. Yeah, that one's not been touched in forever. Last video I talked about it not being touched. And it's still not been touched. Like, I've been trying to get Jaimong to go back to it, and then we could either restart it or we could do all that and begin figuring that out. But no, we've not gotten to that. But this new one, see, with Demon Slayer, it's like, oh, they don't know what this is. But with this new one, there will be a use for modern equipment. There will be uses for everything that is brought in. So, if you feel that this is going to be a difference, if it's going to be something like a boring. No, this will easily be something because it's weird. It's definitely an odd turn, but it's not completely off the rails. With just the right amount of people and the right amount of villains that are trying to stop the good guys or the people from accomplishing their mission, I think that this could become really, really good. Franco. Why the fuck would he call bruh? It would be Francia or Francia. That's the actual old name of France. It's Francia or Francia or Franco. But that's Franco. Why the fuck did he name it Franco? Why did he do it? Francois, Mademoiselle, parlez de mieux. Oui, je ne suis pas forcé de Manfred. That part was German, but but yes, I can speak a couple of other languages. So I'm more than just a one-trick pony. I have a lot of aces up my sleeves. Well, yeah, because I'm actually French. There are people in my family that are biologically French. They were born and raised in France. So I have that nasal capacity because I am French. I have that capacity to do that. I'm also German, so I can actually have a German accent that's really good. Heinz, what did you do to the Flammenwerfer? Flammenwerfer unvertreißig. What did you do to the unvertreißig Flammenwerfer? Hans, did you hear what says above our heads? Nein, sehen Sie Attic. I remember where I know what this one's from initially. This joke was initially made from like a SpongeBob meme. It's great. It's fucking hilarious. But as I've said before, this new RP is going to be completely different from. Yeah, it's going to have. It's kind of has like things that are a mixture between Demon Slayer in terms of the fighting and all that, and immense fighting between people, and then you've got Gate. But this it also has like a twist in between because there's also going to be other types of things involved. So I don't know. This is going to be quite an interesting one because they all have to lay low. And if they don't, they'll get caught. And if they get caught, their mission fails. So it's kind of like this one's more, we have to keep quiet. Because from what we're seeing, the world we're in now has to depend on us to save it. So at the end of the day, you've got all that. So that's why it's like, that's why I'm saying old Volker is going to be important because he's got the experience. If he's got decades of military experience, why would you not bring him? That dude probably knows more than anyone else there, and he doesn't even have to do the physical. He doesn't even have to do the physicality. He could just sit by and watch everyone else do it. He doesn't have to do it. He can easily be the brains of the group because he's the oldest, he's seen the most, and he knows what he's doing. But yeah, this is why it's like Cody is not the brain of this operation. He's going to be the brawn. the guy that's strong. And obviously, if he can punch with enough force to hit you with like a force of a car, I'm pretty sure that is the brawn of the group. Ryan would likely be, of everyone of the group, he would likely be the in-between. He's the engineer of the group because he's Chinese. Too bad his shit would be horrible. But yeah, this is one that I'm really looking forward to because it has elements of Gate. It really does. It has elements of Gate, and it has elements of Demon Slayer. Yeah. So Zuma is. I want him to be part of this, and I want him to be a main villain. I want him to. He is going to be important for the story because this is where this RP could kill him. We're probably going to try to kill him in this RP. I don't know if you actually want Zuma to die, but he's old. He can't. Well, technically, if he fought Cody, there's no way Zuma could fight Cody at all. Cody could probably just grip him by his throat and lift him up off the ground, like, oh shit, like, oh no, oh shit, motherfucker, you can't grip my neck. You can't grip my neck, can you? Say, can't grip my neck. I ain't got one. But yeah, this RP, Zuma's alive and totally didn't move to Argentina after war. I honestly want Zuma to be part of the story. I want him to be a part of the story. Maybe not initially, but I want him to be there in the story. And I really want him to be in there because if he is as old as he is, him and Volker, like a final duel between the two, would be important. Like Volker doesn't even want anybody's help. Like he will try to fight Zuma as much as he can. I honestly, truly believe this could be one of the best RPs we've ever had, and it's the potential here is amazing. You'd probably be surprised what it'll be once it starts happening, but I truly believe this could be something that none of us are prepared to truly understand. It is just so many good characters, so many ways that this could go. No one knows how it will. I don't know. Well, I don't know what else to talk about. I already just got it done. Volker just like, Cody, come over here. Cody, all right, motherfucker. Like, all right, come here. Just fucking, just grab him by the throat, just gripped him dead. Just, I did it. Toss. Fucking throw him. Just fucking throw his ass. Like, Cody, come here. And he's like, oh shit. That'd be hilarious. But imagine that. Like you're nearly 7 foot, 300 pounds of just raw meat. It's like, oh no. Oh no. Yeah, because it's like, what can Zuma do to him? If Zuma was younger, it'd probably be an easier way to hurt him. But in his 90s, come on, man. Zuma just throws everything he can. It's just, just like, bruh, really. It's like, I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon. God damn it, dude. But yeah, that's why I was like, Zuma needs to be part of this. Is there any other villain that's alive at that time? Just asking, because see, here's the problem. He doesn't live in the U.S. He does pay his taxes, so he even that way Zuma has to really find something, and even that takes time. And when he's getting choked out by the same person, it's not easy to do that. Even the IRS, go ahead, call the IRS. They can't unchoke your ass. Go ahead, go ahead, call the IRS. It won't save you. But as I said, as soon as this is over, you're gonna see you're gonna see a brand new RP chat, and I plan on starting that sometime soon. I do plan on starting it. Go ahead, call the IRS. They can't unbrick your neck. Yes. That is exactly something he would do. That is exactly something he would do. Oh, yeah, that is exactly something he would do. But as I said, Zuma's a villain that's going to be added in to the fray. There's already another villain in this universe, but now you've got two, and now it's going to be interesting because you've got two villains. So obviously, they're probably going to work together. Both villains are going to work together. Zu- Zuma, even though Zuma tells that the top G, he realizes, wait a minute. Cody doesn't vape. He does have multiple rich fast cars. Zuma has none, and Zuma vapes. it's fucking. It's like I'm gonna show you. He's gonna yell at and Zuma. Oh yeah, Zuma's old. No, Top G would go after him first. 100% would go after the old fuck first. He would every single time he punches him. Just I'm Top G, just I'm Top G, I'm Top G. Andrew Tate would not be beaten in that fight. Zuma would just get his ass kicked. Um, but with that in mind, yeah, as I said, once this live stream is over, the RP chat will be added in. I'm not gonna put the name of it just yet because I want it to be a surprise. And once it comes into fray, like what is this exactly? Once that happens, the name of it will be put up. So other than that, I've actually got nothing else to say. If you have nothing else to say, editor, then it can begin. Okay, so tell me, who might you add in this fuck shittery? And remind you can only put 3, and you've already got 1. I'm not counting Zuma because it's a villain, so I'm not gonna count Zuma. I'm already gonna be adding one of mine, so that means you already have 1 Jay. You got Jay. Now you've got Zuma. These two would have to work really, really good together. So Who? So Volker. So you got Volker already, the one dude that's the leader of the Red Tulsa, and Owen. So Owen's coming back, and that makes sense considering. But the thing is, Owen, if he comes back though, then how is Owen going to come back? Well, if you think about it, I wonder what would happen. Because technically, the United Planets is already trying to work on a way to revive dead people. Yeah, resurrection or some shit. Yeah, they're already trying to figure out a way to revive dead people. So they're figuring out what they need to do because they've already studied. They know the process of what happens when you die. So it's kind of like they got to figure out what to do with him in order for it to happen. But there has to be a lot of things that have to happen in order for this to occur. So it's kind of like, who knows? But we've got. I don't know. I don't think they'll be resurrecting many people, but Owen is definitely one they want to at least partially resurrect, and it's simple as to why. Again, Owen is beloved by his people, so the main goal was to revive him, make him young again, and then send him off to the UKK. That's their goal, and they're working with the UKK to find his body, try to fix it up, and they're trying it. They're really trying to do it. But if they do it, even though it is a costly endeavor to do, that means death is not the end, and that should really frighten you because that would mean if an enemy of the United Planets gets this technology, they'll have to do more than just kill the person. They'll have to burn the body, completely destroy it. That is the only way to kill somebody at that point. Obviously. And imagine if they got told, hey, by the way, we worked with the United Planets government, and yeah, Owen's alive again. We resurrected him. They probably would be respecting the United Planets completely. That there would be, and now in the galaxy, now there's people, the life expectancy of a man has now increased from 100 to like 300, 350 years on average. Owen can live a long time. That's the key difference here. People from the United Planets alone can live 500 years at the latest. Usually their life expectancy is 500 years. There will be people that live that long due to just how many there are. There's like almost 21 billion people. A few thousand of them are bound to live to 500 or so. So it's not impossible to live that long. And then if you're rich enough, there might be a way to resurrect you. That would be the United Planets. So that's why. The region, the entire world is now owned by the United Planets along with the moon. The original home world and the original home moon, both owned by the United Planets. So they have the body of Owen. And because of how things are working now, they can easily get his body back, reinvigorate his cells to make it rebuild his body. Yeah, they have the body of Owen. So they're gonna try and resurrect him, because if that happens, this changes humanity entirely. And they do have the technology to do it. They do. And that's what scares them, is that they have the technology to do it. They have to do it right, but if they do it right, then what would that be? What would be a downside to this situation? No, we're not doing a zombie apocalypse. And the reason as to why it wouldn't cause one is simple. It's in a laboratory and it's a one-time thing. With the zombie virus, it's like they don't know what they're doing. They're dumb as shit, and they don't lock the doors on the inside. Like the people that do the zombie apocalypse ship are dumb as shit. And worst comes to shove, if it somehow gets out, it's in the middle of a fucking field. Who's gonna target the middle of a field and say, oh, you know what? Let's go here, right next to this guy's grave. Like, no. I don't know. I don't think they would do that. I don't think they would. The UKK in their universe is a constitutional monarchy where you have got a prime minister and you've got a figurehead, which is like the king, the queen, and whatnot. And the prime minister would likely be Owen. He would be the true leader of the country, and the king and the queen are the figureheads. Kind of like how the president is the figurehead of the country, but the actual people in charge are the people that the president puts in charge. Hence, the prime minister. And you can start to see the thing. You can start to see constitutional monarchy. So Owen's likely going to be either the prime minister or the leader of the military. Either one's fine. Either one, I really don't care. Like, if he is the prime minister of the country, it would make a lot of sense, especially if they're going to try to fight. But, yeah. That's why it's like, this is a possibility that they're going to try to do. And if it works, then they basically solved another one of life's mysteries. Because now there are ways to avoid death. There are now ways to avoid it. Yeah. Now that... Yeah. Imagine being told as a kid, like, yeah, but once you get a certain age, there's a certain thing that they can do where they can basically kill you. If you're rich enough, they let you die on normal terms, and then you come back as someone very young. So it's kind of like, imagine doing that. But there would no longer be a need for children. There would no longer be a need for a lot of other things. Owen, yeah, I was about to say, Owen would likely be the prime minister. That does make sense. I will get that. That does make sense. But as I've said, once this video's done, then I probably should end it soon because Kayla's going to be coming home at around 3, so she might actually be home any minute. But as of right now, we got everything we need. We've got everybody that's going to be coming in, and all I have to do now is talk to Jaimong and see what he wants to bring in. Yeah, at that point, it's only for entertainment. There's no point, there wouldn't be a need for children. Well, for the rich people at least. And you see, that's the key difference, is like, it doesn't change the lifestyles. It doesn't change anything. Because even if they're able to do it, they're going to keep it expensive because they don't want everybody doing it. Because what's the point of doing that? Sure, you get a lot of money, but you don't get kids. There's a lot of issues that it just creates. It just creates a lot of issues, unseen issues. And it really does. And it can be stopped. Like, if someone destroys your body, it can be stopped. So if you get burned to a point where you cannot be revived, that's a thing that can happen. So there's still... So I don't know. It will likely be an entertainment thing for certain areas because there's a lot of rich people in those areas. It would likely be an entertainment thing. But as I've said, I probably should get off. The fuck? What does Naruto have to do? How would you Naruto my nuts? How about that part? How's that for Narutoing? What does Naruto have to do with fucking military conflict? What does that have to do with anything? Fucking kid just was a huh, and then immediately just gets shot by a 50 cal. I mean, that would be a thing that would happen. Yes. Well, the problem with actual resurrection is that you can't do that. In order to do that, you'd have to control the mind. But how can you do that if the mind isn't working at the moment? You can't do that until the mind's working. Even then, by that time, his memories will be intact. And with how modern things go, like even today, like 2022, 23, it takes 1,000 years for your body to fully die away. 1,000 years with everything. He's only been dead for decades. This dude's body will likely be intact completely. Now, he may be a little shriveled up when they find him, but he'll still be intact. So he can still be revived very easily. Oh, no, it won't be some. He will host most of his DNA. He'll be perfectly fine. He is not the worrying, but if it's like if they want to resurrect someone 300 years ago, that's when it's going to start becoming a problem because there's less and less DNA to go from. And with the less DNA, the less the perfect opportunity. Yeah. Well, I gotta end the video because Kaylee, I think Kaylee's pulling into the driveway. I gotta end this stream because I can see your car right now. Yep, that's her. You're probably gonna be questioning, why the fuck your light on, motherfucker? But I'll be adding the channel, and I will see you in there.